After Rin's volatile goal, Loki feels the heat of the game and gets on the field. But of course Noah isn't going to let this slide, and so he too joins the battle. However, this time he comes with the most unexpected reinforcement. Ladies and gentlemen, it's time for Igaguri to get on the field. It's time for the trickster to lay his traps for the other team. And so the biggest question that poses itself: who will score the winner goal in this game? Will Rin, Loki and PXG dominate, or will we see another golden trio between Isagi, Noah and Hiyori? Well, that's what we are going to try and figure out in today's video, where we will be theorizing about every possible outcome from this game and speculate on who will be taking the big W at the end of the Neo Egoist League. But before we do, however, if you enjoy this type of videos, please consider subscribing and joining my community Discord server for more amazing Blue Lock theories and reviews. And now without any further ado, let's dig in. Now, I wanna start the video with a quick recap of everything that happened in this game. In complete contrast to the previous game, the match against PXG started explosively, with both teams going at each other with such tenacity that it got us hooked in. However, it was Kaiser who got the first real opportunity and he aims for that kill shot. But then, as he was about to shoot, Rin comes into the picture and snatches the ball. Then the latter goes on a route of reckoning with the help of Nanase, destroying Bastard completely. And by the way, this includes both Isagi and Kaiser, and it almost was over if it wasn't for the intervention of Hiyori. However, after that insane save and that insane block, Karasu actually snatched the ball and he passed it to Charles. There the latter sends a perfect pass to the empty space in Bastard's defense. And to everyone's surprise, through pure instinct, Shidou meets him there and they score the opening of this game, which honestly was such a broken goal that it prompted Noah to tell Isagi and Hiyori to replicate it. But of course they have to deal with the threat of Shidou. There Noah comes with a brilliant plan to push Kunigami back and have him as a second defensive midfielder that is tasked with one objective: to stop Shidou completely. Of course, this gets Kunigami very excited, because it's time for his long-awaited revenge. And trust me when I tell you, revenge is what he took, as we see Kunigami completely dominate Shidou, not even allowing him to sniff the ball, in what I can only say one of the most dominant 1v1 we've seen in the Neo Egoist League. On the other side, on the side of Bastard's offense, and with Kaiser failing again and again, it's up for Isagi to take the role of the leader. And of course he can't do that without his buddy Hiyori, who forwards one of his amazing passes straight to a perfect location where Isagi could snatch it. However, again, Shidou through instinct meets him there, but this time Isagi has reinforcement. There is in the form of Kunigami, who completely stomps over Shidou and passes a perfect ball to Isagi, who was covered by both Kaiser and Rin. There Isagi digs deep in his mind and steals a move from Nagi, completely destroying both Rin and Kaiser. This got Kaiser so infuriated that he started breaking down, and with Isagi getting a chance after a chance, especially with Karuna replacing Grim, Kaiser is as desperate as ever. However, this prompts him to notice his own weakness, and we see one of the most beautiful awakenings ever. Kaiser goes from a cocky, empty player to an actual menace on the field, and all of his hard work gets actually crowned with the help of Kiora, who delivers a trick pass to Isagi that turns and goes towards Kaiser, who with his newfound weapon scores an amazing goal, one of the best in the Neo Egoist League. This actually pushes Rin to the brink of madness, as we see the guy really live it. He has not done anything this game. Sure, he was on Kaiser many times, but at the end of the day he did not stop him, and with him not scoring, it's all futile. And so Rin swears to kill both Isagi and Kaiser. Of course, the latters won't let him do that easily, and honestly, Isagi continues to wipe the floor with Rin, and this pushed him to actually target Isagi's ally, Karuna, and take the ball from him. From there, what ensued can only be described as a slaughterhouse. In 3 consecutive attacks, Rin completely wrecks Bastard. With a little bit of help from Nanase and Takemitsu, he destroyed every singular player on that pitch. Honestly, no one even stood a chance, with the exception of Kaiser, who got one up on Rin just one time. However, in the 2 other different occasions, Rin was still supreme. There he pulls off one of the nastiest things we've seen in Blue Lock, and actually choose not to score a very guaranteed shot. This actually pissed the Masters so much. However, Rin had a better plan. He wanted to force a goal that sends despair to everyone, and that he surely did with the help of Charles, as we see Rin in a very violent fashion clashes with Isagi and scores a very impressive goal. However, with this we are caught up, and it's time for us to explore the theories of who will be scoring the final goal. Now, I actually want to start with the most obvious and the boring theories first, and then go into some interesting ones. And so the first theory I am going to begin with is simply Noah. I mean, with no Snuffy on the field, who would deal with Noah? The guy is really insane, and I really do not think Loki on his level. As I said, I don't think Loki is on the level of the remaining 4 masters, but in any case, I think this is the most boring theory, as we know Noah is very dominant, and honestly scoring here would serve no purpose. Before, when he and Lavinia scored, it was a way for the writer to show us the level of the pros, which honestly I enjoyed. However, here, I feel if the pros score, it's gonna be a very bad choice, especially with Noah, because we know what he can do, and we know how far he is from the rest. However, I'm going to play the devil's advocate and explore it a little bit further. You see, there is a player on the field that is very confused right now, which is Ness, and we know Ness works perfectly with Noah, as he delivers perfect passes that really fit with Noah's playing style. However, on the other hand, there is Isagi, who has a great synergy with Noah, and so if Noah is ever to score, I think either Ness or Isagi will help him a little bit. However, with Isagi wanting to be a striker, I don't think he would want it, and so I'm actually dismissing this theory. I think this won't happen, just because it's really bad narratively speaking. And so let's move on to the next, which honestly it's not as equally bad, however it's still, I don't know, I still feel a little bit suspicious if the writer goes this route, which is actually Loki dominating and then scoring. Now with Noah on the field, I don't think Loki is going to dominate. However, if we know anything about speedsters, they excel at snatching goals and stealing them. And so Loki could actually do that, especially because he seems to have a very distinctive design to his eyes, which resembles the assassin's eyes. And so he might assassinate the plays of the others and steal the perfect opportunity to score. And with no one really matching him when it comes to speed, he could actually deliver a very swift kill shot. However, let's dig deeper. I think an interesting theory would be if Zantetsu actually helps Loki. You know, the 2 speedsters working together to destroy Bastard. And I know the writer doesn't hold that much value into Zantetsu, but the kid in me thinks this will be really great, as I think Zantetsu is one of the most misused characters in the show, and so I'm always down for him to shine. Now, if Zantetsu helps, I think Karasu might do as well. However, there is one player that I think Loki is craving for his passes, which is of course Charles. And I think Charles assisting Loki is a very bad choice, because honestly that's just like Noah dominating. It's very obvious and also it serves no purpose. I think Charles needs to challenge himself with insane very hard passes. And so let's just move on from the idea of the pro scoring. I think it's gonna be the worst case scenario, because as I said, this serves no purpose. What serves a purpose, however, is actually Isagi scoring. Now I understand, it's kinda predictable at this point. Isagi always has a say in the 3rd goal, whether he's orchestrating it or straight up scoring it. And I don't necessarily have a problem with this, however I've heard a lot of people say that it is repetitive. And actually yes, I feel it is a bit repetitive if Isagi does that. However, you have to remember something, Isagi is aiming to be number 1. And honestly, if he doesn't do that here, it wouldn't mean that much unless he does it at the finals of the World Cups. However, as I'm saying this, I'm actually noticing a great theory, which is Isagi actually failing. If Isagi fails, if Isagi tastes that defeat, we might even see a crazier Isagi in the World Cups, and I'm definitely down for that. However, I don't think this is plausible due to the tendency of the writer. And also, as I said it in this video, I think Isagi's true ego will awaken, same as Rin, and he will get a form of a berserker state. It will not be a destroyer mode like Rin's, but it would be something unique to Isagi. And actually here we kinda got a confirmation for this, with Isagi showing this new design, this new eye design, where the Metavision grid is taking over the majority of his face. However, up to this point we really don't know what these eyes do or what they mean for Isagi. For now we are just speculating that he is showing his true ego, albeit not a complete form, kinda like Rin in the U20 game and early in this game. And speaking of Rin, I think he would be the key to pushing Isagi, through destroying him over and over again. We know he already pushed him to stake his life on stopping him, yet he failed, and so Rin seems like the perfect candidate for this. But of course, we can have Rin actually score. But before we talk about Rin, because I want to go into depth with this, let's talk about another 2 players. Actually the dark horses of their respective teams, which are Shidou and Kaiser, whom I believe still could steal a goal at any moment, especially Kaiser with his insane new shot and his off-the-ball movements. But also, there is a theory that Kaiser could be working with Noah this time. You see, this is not the arrogant Kaiser, this is actually a very rational emperor, and so I definitely see Noah siding with him. And imagine this, Noah, Kaiser and Ness working together for Kaiser to finally destroy PXG and take back his throne. And honestly, this is such a great theory, because it would mean Isagi still lost to Kaiser and he didn't defeat Rin, things that need to be answered in the World Cups. However, you could argue that this arc needs to end with Isagi on top, and so I don't know for the plausibility of this theory. Shidou's score, on the other hand, could really come out of nowhere, much like his first goal. You see, if everyone is focused on Noah, Loki, Kaiser, Isagi and Rin, Shidou and Charles could really shine behind the shadows, especially because Charles is contrarian, and Loki is expecting him to deliver great passes to him. He could throw him completely off and still pass to Shidou, and I definitely see this plausible, if PXG is winning, that is. However, with these out of the way, let's actually talk about Rin. Now, usually by the time the other team scores the second goal, things seem to be concluded for that team. For example, we've seen both Batra and Levi score, and we've seen the new style we are introduced to. And so the second goal means that Batra actually served its purpose, and so the third goal going for Bastard was very obvious. Then in the München City game, after Nagi scored, things seem to be done for them. They seem to have completed their story. Ryo and Nagi are back together, Nagi scores an insane goal, and of course he destroys Isagi. On the other hand, the fight between Yuki and Isagi is still going, and so it made total sense for Bastard to win. And this trend actually carried on to the Ubers game, where after Barrow scored the second goal, he pulled Snuffy from retirement, and Ubers is a whole team that love Barrow, and finally he is the king. Things seem to have concluded as well. This game, however, is very different. You see, nothing is concluded with Rin. He is still exploring what this ego could mean, what the berserker state could enable him to do. And I feel the only way this is going to be complete is for him to meet another berserker state. And obviously it goes without saying, I'm excluding the pros here. And as I said before, Isagi could be that guy. Isagi could awaken his own berserker state, and it would be the destroyer versus the strategist, 1v1 to crown the winner of the Neo Egoist League. Now there is another theory with Ren. You see, due to his mentality and his volatility, he's no longer reliable. I mean, definitely he seems to be the best player right now. However, him choosing to waste a very easy chance really hurts his points for me. And so, it could be that Rin will be the downfall of PXG, with him failing again and again because his plays did not match up his ideals. However, enough about Ren. Let's actually talk about the most hype theory here, which funny enough, it is about Igaguri. Now, the reason I kept Rin before last, before talking about this, is actually to explore Rin's volatility. He seems to be reckless. The way he tackled both Corona and Isagi could have both resulted in fouls, and so when I'm talking about fouls, there is one player that comes into mind, which is Igaguri. I think a very funny theory would be Igaguri causing Rin a foul, or hell even a penalty if Rin does something reckless to get the ball again. This honestly would be the best, and then we see either Noah, Isagi, Hiyori or even Igaguri score that penalty. Honestly, I wish this would be the case. This is such a funny but such a great theory. And to anyone saying it is wishful thinking, let me remind you, Noah chose Igaguri for a reason. It's not like he didn't have any players, because he had both Yuki and the lightning guy from the U20 game, which both are better than Igaguri, and so he definitely had that plan. And I honestly believe that plan revolves around Ren. After seeing how volatile, after seeing how unprofessional Ren was, Noah could actually take advantage of that and completely wreck Ren with his own weapons through Igaguri causing him a foul. This honestly has a dark side to it, however, because Rin might lose everything. He might lose the respect he has, he might lose his position, he might lose literally everything, because he keeps on doing the irrational thing. However, this is not about Rin, and actually about Igaguri. As I said, the fact that Noah shows interest in any player means that that player is doing something right. And as I said, why would you include Igaguri of all people? And to that I would say he has something up his sleeves. And honestly, I can't shake this feeling that Rin will be the victim of this. However, with this, we are done with the video. Let me know in the comments what theories do you have about this and who will be the winner of this game. But anyways, I really hope you enjoyed the video, and until next time, thank you for watching.